evening. Welcome to the news at 4 on Leadership Television. My name is Winifred Ugbebo. President Bola Tinubu has requested the National Assembly's approval to extend the implementation of the 2025 Appropriation Act to March 31, 2026, in a move aimed at ending the long-standing problem of overlapping budget cycles. Meanwhile, the president is expected to present the 2026 budget to the National Assembly on Friday. The request was conveyed in a letter dated December 18, 2025, and read on Friday during a special plenary of the House of Representatives by Speaker Tajuddin Abbas. Tinubu said the new letter supersedes an earlier communication sent on December 16, 2025, explaining that the extension is part of broader fiscal reforms designed to improve planning, execution, and accountability in public spending. According to the president, the proposed adjustment will allow the release of at least 30% of capital allocations to ministries, departments, and agencies, noting that delays in fund releases have continued to weaken budget performance. He disclosed that the proposal includes the repeal and reenactment of the 2024 and 2025 Appropriation Acts. Under the plan, the 2024 budget will be revised upward to 43.56 trillion naira, while the 2025 budget will be adjusted to 48.22 trillion naira and extended to run until March 31, 2026. Tinubu explained that the amendments will also capture items not previously recognized and align budget implementation with current fiscal realities and execution capacity. He urged lawmakers to consider and pass the bills quickly in the interest of national development. It's reported that since Tinubu assumed office in May 2023, the federal government has grappled with overlapping budgets due to delays in budget passage, revenue shortfalls, and slow release of capital funds. In other news, the Supreme Court on Friday struck out an appeal by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, against the leadership of the Social Democratic Party, SDP, for lacking a merit. Daily Post reports that INEC, through its team of lawyers, requested to set aside the October 17 judgment of the Court of Appeal in Abuja, which upheld an order that compelled it to include SDP candidates in by-elections that were conducted across 12 states of the Federation. The Commission slammed the Appellate Court for affirming the judgment of the Abuja Division of the Federal High Court in a suit marked FHC/ABJ/CS/1525/2025, which was instituted against it by the SDP. Meanwhile, SDP had in the suit challenged the refusal of INEC to recognize its candidates for the by-elections after they emerged through primaries that were monitored by the electoral body. The electoral body argued that letters and notices that were sent to it on behalf of the party were invalid. It added that the correspondences were signed by the acting national chairman of SDP, Dr. Siddiq Umar Abubakar, and the national secretary, Dr. Olu Agunloye. According to the commission, the duo were previously suspended by the party. It was INEC's position that internal party suspensions invalidated all the letters that Abubakar and Agunloye signed, including the nomination of candidates for the by-elections. Meanwhile, following SDP's legal action, the High Court ordered that all its candidates should be recognized and included in the ballot. Even though INEC complied with the High Court order, it, however, took the matter before the Appellate Court. In a unanimous decision, a three-man panel of the Court of Appeal led by Justice Adebukola Banjoko dismissed the appeal and upheld the High Court verdict. Not happy with the outcome, INEC lodged the appeal, which the Supreme Court also dismissed on Friday. A five-member panel of the Apex Court declared that the appeal had turned into an academic exercise, noting that elections have since been held with all the winners sworn in. In the lead judgment that was prepared by Justice Mohammed Idris, the Supreme Court said it found no reason to dislodge the concurrent findings of the two lower courts. The substratum of this appeal has been dissipated, the panel head saying. Courts do not engage in interventions on academic questions. It held that there was nothing upon which the Apex Court could exercise its adjudicatory powers. Stressing the absence of any live matter for determination, the Supreme Court declined questions on interpretation of the Electoral Acts, saying the issues could not be resolved in a vacuum. Aside from dismissing the appeal, the court awarded a 2 million naira cost against INEC. In another development, the House of Representatives has raised the campaign spending limit for presidential candidates from 5 billion naira to 10 billion naira as part of amendments to the Electoral Act 2022. The decision followed a clause-by-clause consideration of a report on electoral reforms aimed at strengthening Nigeria's democratic process ahead of the 2027 general elections. Lawmakers also approved higher spending limits for other elective offices. Gubernatorial candidates can now spend up to 3 billion naira, up from 1 billion naira, while senatorial candidates' limits were increased to 500 million naira. For House of Representatives seats, the ceiling was raised to 250 million naira, while State House of Assembly candidates can now spend up to 100 million naira. At the local government level, chairmanship candidates will be allowed to spend 100 million naira, while councillorship candidates' limits were increased to 10 million naira. The House also approved a sharp increase in the maximum amount individuals or organizations can donate to candidates, raising it from 50 million naira to 500 million naira. The amendments will take effect after concurrence by the Senate and assent by the President. And now, entertainment. Nollywood actress and filmmaker Iniedo has defended the title of her film A Very Dirty Christmas following criticism from the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN. CAN had described the film's title as offensive and a mockery of the Christian faith, calling on the National Film and Video Censors Board, NFVCB, to explain how it was approved for release during the Christmas season. In a statement shared on Instagram, Iniedo said the title was metaphorical and not intended to disrespect Christianity or the celebration of Christmas. She explained that the film explores contrasts often present during the festive season, including joy and struggle, virtue and human imperfection. The actress stressed that the production received all necessary approvals from the NFVCB and the Nigerian Copyright Commission before release. As a devout Christian, my faith guides my values. I will never knowingly be part of any work that disrespects my religion, she said. Meanwhile, the NFVCB confirmed that discussions have begun with the film's producers over a possible title modification, adding that its approval was based on the broader narrative context of the movie. The board maintained that its approval does not trivialize Christianity, but supports creative expressions within regulatory limits. And that concludes the news at Phone Leadership Television. For more, log in to www.leadership.ng and don't forget to follow us on all our social media handles. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word. Thank you for watching. For sponsorship